So if you're following in order, this is segment 8 of my interview with Elon Musk, where he and I chat about what he calls the so-called woke mind virus. Now, last year, Musk claimed his estranged transgender daughter, Vivian Wilson, was quote unquote killed by the virus. Now, for the record, Vivian is very much alive. This was a particularly important portion of our conversation as it previewed the extent to which wokeness, a vague, amorphous concept, would become the ultimate boogeyman for the MAGA movement. Let's talk about trans rights and the woke mind virus, because you talk about that a lot. You're right about that a lot on the thing. You have been deeply outspoken about the issue of trans rights. You posted trans rights. You posted that pronouns in bio mean the woke mind virus ate your brain. Do you know what the term woke actually means?
It's come to mean a lot of things.
But what originally it was meant to mean? It's just being aware of inequities in society and being aware of facts and history.
Yeah, I think it's come to be. I think being aware of inequities in society is fine, of course, but trying to blame everything trying to make everything a race issue is, I think, divisive and corrosive to society.
Even as it relates to trans issues, which is what I'm.
Yeah, race or gender or whatever.
You think that society blames everything on racism now?
It blames a lot of things on it, and yeah.
You think that's unfair?
Yeah.
Why?
I think we should not make this a constant subject. I think we need to move on. I think we should treat people like people.
You don't agree that this country was founded on racism and founded on slavery and in many ways inequities? That still continue on to this day?
I think every country at that time, and I think even today, was extremely racist. Every country. And obviously slavery was present in about half of this country. But was not present in the North. There was racism for sure, but I think we want to look to the future rather than the past, and instead of engaging in constant rehashing of the past. Because in fact, if you look at history, if you study history broadly, everyone was a slave. Everyone.
Yes. Well, not everyone was a slave,
no,
but
everyone was a slave.
Okay, but
we are all descended from slaves.
Yeah. Well,
all of us.
Yeah.
It's just a question of when. Was it more recent or less recent? That's it.
Right.
But what future do we want? Is this something we want to make a part of our constant dialogue forever, or do we want to say, like, let's just move on and treat everyone, according to just who they are as an individual?
So here's what I want to say about that. There's some truth that many people, many different ethnicities, right, groups of people were slaves in the past. But I said in this country, we're talking about America, which is a fairly new country. And our history is closer to, maybe closer to us than other places. It is a fact that this country was founded on racist ideals or behaviors, not ideals. The ideals was everyone should be free, but not everyone was treated equally or on equality. Not everyone was treated that way. We did have slavery, we did have Jim Crow, we did have lynchings. We did look at what we did to Native American people. When I say we, I mean America. Mm-hmm. So why would you talk about other countries because I'm talking about America. I'm talking about this country. And you don't think that it still exists, especially considering that we're such a young country and our history is not as far behind us as most places?
I think this country offers opportunity to people, massive opportunity, no matter what your race, creed, religion, whatever it may be. There's no country that is
true,
better on the face of this earth.
That is true.
And that's what we should care about.
That is true.
And that's what we should be focusing on. And instead of divisive race, gender stuff, let's move on.
Yeah.
Let's move on to a brighter future.
Yeah, that is true, and I think people would like to do that. But until there is an acknowledgement of what happened in the past and a correction, I don't think that we can move on. Don't you think it's important to at least know the history of the country so that we can
I think
move
we should know
forward,
the
as you
history
said?
of our country in detail and that of other countries
Right.
and the history of the world.
And especially someone, South Africa, I mean, look at what happened with apartheid. It seems to me that you should be someone who is more understanding of that, considering where you came from, considering your history.
Yeah. There's a slow white genocide going on in South Africa. Do you care about that?
I care about all injustices,
Yeah.
but I don't live in South Africa.
Right.
I live here. You don't live in South Africa. And
I left as soon as I could.
And you
You
owe.
can't control where you're born.
Yeah, but okay.
I left when I was 17 as soon as I could.
Okay. Why?
I wanted to pursue opportunities in America.
You wanted to come to the land of opportunity, and I understand.
That's correct. I wanted to come to the land of opportunity. And I was interested in technology, and that was where technology was happening.
Yeah.
And we need to make sure that we remain the land of opportunity, that we remain the land where what matters is how good are your skills, not anything else. You make progress as a function of how what is your contribution, how good are you, what good are you doing for society? We want to remain the land of opportunity. It's incredibly important that we do so.
I agree with you with that. That's the ideal. But what the evidence shows is that that's not what's actually in practice.
I think we're doing better than anywhere else.
That's true. I agree with that. But that doesn't mean anything, that doesn't mean a lot to a whole lot of people who aren't able to take advantage of the opportunities that you're able to take advantage of, simply because the color of your skin.
What advantages did my color of my skin give me?
Well, there's an ease that you have in society that many people of color don't. You were able to come to this country voluntarily. There are many people who are not able to come to the country voluntarily. There are people who came here as
slaves. It was very difficult
slaves.
for me to come here.
And there is a legacy of slavery that still continues on. There's a legacy of racism that still continues on in this country. That's undeniable.
Well, if we keep talking about it nonstop, it will never go away. If we keep making that the central thing, it will never go away.
Why do you believe that?
I think I'm just making a simple statement of fact. So I think we want to get away from making everything a race or a gender or whatever issue. Just treat people like individuals.
Do you have any desire to understand what many people of color and even trans people, how they feel about this country and how they're treated in this country? If they say and they believe that they are treated a certain way in this country, why don't you believe them?
Well, I think you cannot be judge and jury of your own position.
Say that again.
I think you cannot say, you cannot have a situation where someone is a self-described victim and they just get to be that because that's how they feel.
I think that does happen in some cases, but not all cases. And I think that not understanding the history of the country, I think, is a real shame. Look, I've had
we should understand the history of
incredible
the country
opportunities
and other countries.
I've had incredible opportunities as a person of color.
Right.
But I've also
You did very well.
But I've also been discriminated against, and I know that I have, and I know that that's real. And for someone to say that that isn't happening, I should just move forward and not think about that and ignore the past, is insulting.
I'm not saying it. Don, you keep putting words in my mouth. I'm not saying it's.
I didn't say that you said it.
I'm saying that we want to. We as a country should move beyond questions of race and gender, and we should treat people like individuals and base our opinions on them on the, their character and their skills.
I don't think that anyone will disagree with that.
Exactly.
All I'm saying is that that's not happening and is not equal for everyone. That those opportunities don't happen for everyone. And I am a living example that they don't. I know that they don't because I live it.
You've been incredibly successful.
I have been,
And I
in
think-
spite of it all. But I know what I know. I've experienced what I've experienced. You haven't done that. And I cannot, I don't know what it's like to be from South Africa. I don't know what it's like to be a white man. I don't know what it's like to be a woman. I don't know what it's like to be a Latino person. I don't know that. So I wouldn't speak for them and just say, you need to move on. That's not for me to say. Maybe I believe that the country, it would be great if the country could live up to that ideal.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think we should move on, and we should evaluate people as individuals, not according to their race or gender or whatever the case may be.
Okay.
Just are they a good person? Are they, contributing to society? And that's what matters.
Okay, so we're talking in circles, but do you believe that that is not the case for everyone?
But we're not talking in circles.
Do you believe that that's not the case for everyone? Do you think that everyone has the same opportunities in America, regardless of their background and ethnicity? Do you agree?
No, I don't think everyone has the same opportunities.
Okay. So when you talk about, let's talk about trans rights. When you decided to talk about the trans rights movement, you said that it was a woke mind virus. Why do you believe the trans rights movement is a woke mind virus? What do you mean by woke mind virus? What is that?
Woke mind virus is when you stop caring about people's skills and their integrity, and you start focusing instead on gender and race and other things that are different from that. I think the woke mind virus is fundamentally racist, fundamentally sexist, and fundamentally evil.
Okay.
And we've got a little bit more time, so
yeah.
you choose your questions.
Okay, so okay, thank you for that. But I would appreciate you answering these. I think it's important that we're doing this. I think it's important to the world to hear this, especially what's going on in our country. The reason I ask you, listen, there are a whole lot of things that people maybe have questions about when it comes to transgender people. Even people who are part of the LGBTQ plus community have questions about that. But if you are a free speech absolutist, right? And that is part of the First Amendment. Also, the freedom of expression falls under that First Amendment as well. So why can't people choose to identify with the gender that they feel comfortable with, or with use a pronoun? Isn't that part of freedom of expression?
I guess no. They can ask others to do whatever they feel. They can ask others to do anything. It's a different question whether they mandate that others do that thing.
Okay. So now on to part 9 next of my conversation with Elon Musk. We talk about what he views as a, quote, illegal boycott by advertisers of his social media platform. He says there is a corporate conspiracy to kill X and strip Americans of their freedom of speech. Is that true? Well, I questioned him about that and many of the changes he's made to America's digital town square. That's our next segment. Thanks everyone for watching. Your support means the world to us. So make sure you hit the like button and you subscribe to our channel to make sure that you never ever miss a video. We're live every day, 10 a.m. Eastern time. We drop even more content at 2 p.m. Eastern and 5 p.m. Eastern. And if you want more Don Lemon Show content, we'd love for you to become a member of the Lemon community, where you will receive access to special community posts. You'll get exclusive content and members-only live shows. So head over to our channel page or click the join button on this video. Again, thank you for watching. We appreciate your love and your support, and we will see you next time.